Hello everyone and thank you for joining me. For today I will be attempting to do a drawing with the PenBBS 489 if I remember the number correctly. These were released about 3 years ago or somewhere around those lines. I managed to get these two models, the kind of ice crack or crackling ice on white, blue and purple, and just the white version. These fountain pens basically they are a tribute to the Sheaffer Touchdown, because that is the filling mechanism that these fountain pens have. And as a side note, usually touchdowns are my second favorite filling mechanism, with the lever being the first one, for me at least. So I was very curious to see if these fountain pens can actually work just the same as the touchdown. And I was actually more curious to see if I could use parts from these fountain pens to maybe fix the Sheaffer's touchdowns. Unfortunately, as far as I can tell, or at least on the models that I have from Sheaffer, they don't really fit. Now, after I purchased them, obviously, the thing that I always do, I just put it aside and forget about it. So I never really used it, and today one of them will be lucky. Cap, it's a twist cap, easy to remove. First of all, the clip. Pretty decent clip actually. The normal regular number 6 nib PenBBS, which they're very decent nibs and well loved by a lot of people. I like them as well. I'm not sure if I really love them, but I definitely like them. You can open the barrel, but you won't be able to do much in there because again, it is a touchdown, so the filling mechanism works in a different way. The only downside in here, it seems that maybe there is metal threads, but actually seems like it's not. The plastic seems to go inside that metal sleeve and seems to have basically plastic threads on plastic threads, which is good. You do get an O-ring, which helps with sealing, which is very important in this case, since suction will be very important for this fountain pen as you try and fill it up. And balance-wise, pretty neutral and unposted. You can post it and post fairly deep. This one posts more secure than this one. The other one feels a little bit wonky. And the balance is fairly neutral as well in this case. And to fill it, in case you don't know what a touchdown is, you have to open this cap at the end, which is actually pretty tight in there. You'll hear a hiss as you open it. You have to go all the way. And then you just put it in the ink bottle and press. And you'll hear a hiss. Very important with this, don't just do this. You kind of have to be gentle but firm. Kind of like that. I'll try and see if I can capture the hiss. I'll put the pen next to the microphone. Hopefully that got it. And that's how you fill it up. And this will be the fountain pen. I'm not sure if I will like it posted or not. Feels very nice in hand as is. And I think I'm gonna be using the other one because it's more colorful. So if my drawing won't be colorful, at least the pen will be. Now let me fill it up, do a writing sample, and then I'll dive into the drawing. And as I was just saying those words, I realized that I was actually, lying to you a little bit, because the pen is not the only colorful thing that I'll be using today. The ink is colorful as well. I have a new ink from the Octopus. I have the red turtle. Received it actually with a day before making this video, so I was quite excited to try it out and give it a and see how it looks. And I have to admit, I'm becoming quite a fan for this Octopus ink, specifically since they're also quite waterproof. I did a little bit of test before doing the drawing, but after I did the writing sample, and right after pretty much putting the ink on a piece of paper, I used the water brush and putting water on it. It did smudge it very, very, very little, but the letters were still very visible. If I would have waited a little bit longer, maybe 5 minutes, I'm pretty sure there would have been no ink smudge at all. So their inks, I'm a fan. I'm definitely a fan. I might grow my collection from them, and probably these are going to become my main inks for writing and drawing. And they're very font pen friendly. I love them so far, at least the two ones that I have. I've been looking at their colors, and they have quite a lot of colors. They don't have sheens or iridescent inks, but I like them for drawing. I think they are perfect. And if you want something that seems to be quite waterproof, check them out in case you haven't used them before. No advertising in the sense that they give me free inks or pay me for this. It's just something that I like and enjoy. Anyway, with the ink aside, writing sample, I noticed that when I was doing the writing that there are some issues with the nib. So it did require some love to set it up, but I haven't really done anything to it as I was doing the writing sample and the drawing. I did manage to actually work on it the second day after the drawing and got it to a much happier point. Things that I noticed is that on the upstrokes, it was losing ink for whatever reason, and in some parts, it was actually skipping. You'll see, probably you've seen it when I was doing the quick flourishing, there was a lot of skips on the upper stroke, but on the downstroke was okay because I was putting a little bit more pressure on it. Reverse, completely unusable. I managed to bring it to a nice use, even when barely touching the paper. A very fine line, but perfect for what I would have needed. What else? Yeah, that's about it. The need. Also, I think the tines were a little bit too close together. The tension between the tines, between them, literally was too high, so I had to loosen them up a little bit. Ink wasn't really flowing through those tines properly. And let's say after about 10 minutes, everything actually worked out pretty good with a nib. I'm curious now if the white version has the same issues or not. Maybe I'll use it once I finish the ink inside the pen. The good part though is that, whatever issues might have had, it actually helped me a lot during the drawing. It allowed me to build up layers even slower than usual. And while it looked like it took me a long time, the drawing is very simple. It took me maybe an hour and 10 minutes to finish it. And that with a small break in between. Actually, no, the break was extra 10 minutes because usually I stop the camera, so that time is not being counted. As usual, nothing really special about the drawing, or at least no special plans for it. This time I used the small cotton hand press paper that I have. I just wanted to do a small quick drawing just to get a feel of the ink and the pen, how it feels, because I wasn't very happy on the writing sample. I did use it posted for the drawing part here and there. I didn't like it because it doesn't post that well. It kind of posts on the tip in there, and the cap is wobbly if I move my hand, and it doesn't sit straight in there, which I don't like it that much, but it's okay, I guess. In a bind, if you need it, it kind of works more or less. Other than the skipping parts, which didn't really affect me during the drawing since I was going fairly slow and that wasn't showing through, no issues with the pen. Everything worked out pretty good. The flow of the ink, well, again, exception of that nib issue that I mentioned, was actually decent, allowed me to slowly build up the layers. Even after I did the modification on the nib as I was testing it, the flow is still pretty decent, and I probably could have done the same effect if I would have worked on the nib before the drawing. Speaking of the drawing, like I mentioned, and then I got derailed. I derailed myself. Again, no plans for this drawing. I just wanted to do some wavy form, something flowy. At the beginning, I didn't expect to actually end up with another creature. I actually thought I might end up with an actual plant, since I had like basically small stem, kind of like going all the way down, and then I had a quote-unquote floor or a ground where it was connecting. And as I was slowly building up those layers, I noticed that I had an eye, and that was it pretty much. The dot, I think, was added by mistake at one point in time, and then I realized that that is the eye, so eventually I actually made that dot a little bit stronger. Surprised by this ink. It starts like a pinkish and then kind of goes to reddish, maroon reddish, which I like. Like I mentioned, I discovered them recently, and why in the world I didn't know about them before? I don't know for how long they've been on the market, but damn, I like them. I would say they're actually better than platinum when it comes to waterproofing, in my opinion. I gotta buy a blue. I haven't tried a blue yet, but probably that will be my next purchase, or a purple, I'm not sure. I do want to try it on a different piece of paper, not the cotton, just to see if the drawing will work the same, as in it will allow me to layer up just as much as the cotton paper did. What else? Oh yeah, one thing that probably a lot of people won't like, because it's in a vintage style fountain pen, especially for a touchdown, there is no ink window, and there is no easy way to actually check and see if your ink levels are good to use. That is the downside, I guess, with these fountain pens. Some will hate it, some will love it. Personally, I don't care that much about it. The trick with these fountain pens is that when you fill it up at least 3 times. And the way you do it, when you put it in the ink, and this is valid for any ink sac type fountain pens, put it in the ink, push down or press the lever, and then don't just remove the pen, because it will suck in air. You gotta wait in there for like 5-6 seconds, and then do that about 3 times, and in theory you should be good to go. Make sure that all those 3 times you are actually deep in the ink bottle. Don't keep it close to the surface, because as you try and push or move the lever, if you have a lever type vintage fountain pen, you could easily pull it out as it's trying to suck in ink, and you'll suck in air. Following those rules, I never had any issues with fountain pens not basically filling up properly, and usually the ink sac lasts a pretty good period of time. But then again, I'm not a heavy writer, so might not work for everybody. But then again, maybe this fountain pen wouldn't be for you in that case. Maybe more like a bulk filler. It's something more of your alley. Anyway, I love the fountain pen. I definitely do. Touchdowns, like I mentioned, it's one of my favorites. I love the drawing that I got out of it. I love the ink. Can't wait to get another one, and that's how you build up your collection of inks, I guess, even though you don't want to probably. And that's it. Rambling again. Bottom line, this was a fun drawing. This was a fun fountain pen. I don't know why the hell I waited so long to use it, probably because I forgot about it. But I love it now that I'm using it. Thanks for joining me, and hopefully I will see you next week. Wish you nothing but the best and a wonderful day or night, whatever you are. Take care. Bye.